So Bob Clark was in one of the open press cars, just a few cars back, and he said the car came to an immediate stop. He's describing what he saw. There's other new evidence coming out now. Fred Newcomb's interviews from 1971 with motorcycle cops, which I just got a week ago from another researcher named Larry Rivera, who's doing great work with that audio. He's producing transcripts. These are quotes. Bobby Hargis to the left rear of the car. The driver almost stopped the car. The limo stopped 3 to 4 seconds, maybe 5 to 6 seconds. It was a rolling stop, less than 1 mile an hour. For all practical purposes, that's a car stop. Less than 1 mile per hour for up to 5 to 6 seconds. You don't see that in the Zapruder film. Cheney was to the right rear fender, at the right rear fender. But he says, I don't know if the lead car stopped, but I know Kennedy's car did because he says, I know I stopped. He's keeping station on the limousine. He stopped his bike. And look at that. Hargis on the left side jumped off his bike, ran between the two cars, and ran in front of Cheney, who had stopped his bike. I think the reason you don't see that on the Z film, it's just out of frame. It's just to the left. It's just out of the frame. But the point is, you're not going to run in front of the Queen Mary unless it has stopped. You don't want to get run over, do you? So if the Queen Mary stopped, it's because the limousine stopped. And if Hargis was willing to run in front of the big Queen Mary Cadillac convertible, then that means it stopped. These are from 1971 interviews. They're golden evidence. And then Stavis Ellis, you can read what it says. A piece of bone blew out the president's head. A kid picked it up, probably the son of Charles Brehm. That's my hypothesis. An agent jumped off the Queen Mary, took the bone out of his hand, and threw it into the back of the limousine before it accelerated. You don't see that on the Zapruder film. And that means it had to stop long enough for that to happen. So I believe the 5 to 6 second, or maybe longer, car stop.
And we'd just been down Main Street with people hanging out of the windows of the skyscrapers, and Miss Connolly had just turned to the president and said, Mr. President, you certainly can't say Dallas doesn't love you. And then the shots that changed the course of history. Then we saw people scrambling around on the street. We saw a limousine slow for a minute and lurch forward. A limousine slow for a minute, limousine slow for a minute, limousine slow for a minute. So we knew something terrible had happened.
That guy slowed down. Maybe his orders was to slow down where the rest of the guys.
This is Greer, the driver of the presidential limousine.
Yeah, presidential limousine slowed down almost to a stop.
I thought someone had threw a firecracker down on the ground just to be smart. But then they came, the procession kept coming, and then the second and the third shot rang out. Well, I knew it was being shot at. I knew that was what was happening. The car got right beside me where I was at, and it actually stopped momentarily. And I heard Jackie Kennedy say, oh, God, no, no. And I heard John Connolly say, they're going to shoot us all.
Summers then ran into the Secret Service agent who never was.
There was a gentleman in a suit and a hat and tie, and he had a gun over his raincoat. I could only see the barrel of it. It was just, and he said, y'all better not come up here. And he wasn't only talking to me, it was other people running there. You can get shot.
The Secret Service in the car in front of us kind of casually looked around, looked up at the back of them, and rather slow to react. And